Sometimes there is a champion. A champion that eats damage for breakfast. A champion that tanks whole teams. A champion that slows whole teams. A champion that stuns whole teams. A champion that solos Baron. Udyr is just that kind of champion. And if you want to know how to get real with him, follow me. Let's start with the ability rundown. I will be referring to them in their new names. I'll be grazing through as this is another 200-year production. Hopefully you know how to read. Udyr does not have an ultimate, he has 4 basic abilities. His passive gives him the ability to awaken one of his basic abilities by recasting it. The awakened ability has a bonus effect. After casting a basic ability, Udyr powers his next 2 autos to give 30% attack speed and refund 5% of the awakened's cooldown. Thing to note is that all his abilities other than Stampede Stance buff his next 2 autos and give an effect. His Q, Claw Stance, buffs his next 2 autos to do physical max HP damage. He additionally gains attack speed and physical on-hit damage. The Awakened version gives more attack speed and autos deal additional magic max HP damage. His W, Mantle Stance, empowers his next 2 autos to lifesteal and heal a flat amount. He also additionally gains a shield for 4 seconds. A Vacant version gives a bonus to all those effects, additionally healing him over 4 seconds. His E, Stampede Stance, makes his autos pounce on the target and stun. This effect has a cooldown per target. Additionally, he becomes ghosted and gains decaying movement speed over 4 seconds. The Awakened version gives him a bonus attack range of 75, additional movement speed, and makes him CC immune for 1.5 seconds. His R, Storm Stance, makes his next 2 autos deal magic damage to nearby enemies. He additionally summons a blizzard around him, dealing magic damage and slowing. The Awakened version makes the blizzard follow the last attacked target, dealing bonus magic max HP damage and slowing additionally.
2 items basically on spawn.
So an important thing to discuss is Claw versus Storm Stance is your main damage ability. Currently Storm Stance just wins out. It has a lot more utility and it also gives you a greater clear speed. Claw Stance might be better for 1v1ing other champions and doing single target damage, but Storm just beats it in its ability to slow down multiple champions while doing damage independent of auto-attacking. Another reason why it's better is in its scaling, it being AP, just like your shield. Meaning overall you get more from going into Storm Stance and AP. Some obvious pros and cons. He's an extremely tanky champion due to shields and healing and scaling. Multiple forms of CC, a stun and a permanent slow basically. Can completely take over games if ahead by becoming completely unkillable. He can solo Baron with like 1.5 items. Great map mobility with his E when you acquire some more ability haste. And the general Udyr shenanigans. Some cons, he's forever forced to simply run down champions. He doesn't have a gap closer other than like movement speed. He can feel lackluster if behind, not tanky enough, not damaging enough. He's reliant on scaling and item timings to truly be powerful solo. As far as runes are considered, you could go pretty much anything, and it would probably work. The meta would be going Conqueror, but I ran Fleet much more as it helps with orb blocking. Other runes of note would be Aftershock and Predator for teamfighting and more gank-oriented playstyles. I'm personally not impressed with Conqueror. You don't proc it as fast as other champions, basically needing to auto a minimum of 4 times, as with Storm Stance you can get 2 stacks by awakening it. It just doesn't offer as much instantaneous effect as other rune choices, like Press of the Attack. Saying that, Conqueror is still the safest route if you just want to go the cookie cutter way. As far as items are considered, there is the meta way of going Sunfire into Demonic. This is quite strong and it allows you to solo Baron easily at 2 items. You can also solo it probably earlier, but the completion of the Demonic gives you the damage to not make it a complete slogfest. My personal little trick is to grab a tier early, even skipping Bami and going into Fimble Winter second. Fimble is nigh broken on Udyr as it will automatically activate every 8 seconds if your Blizzard is out. You might not do as much damage, but this build excels at snowballing, as you're unkillable with the amount of you can constantly shield. After finishing Demonic, either after Fimble or Sunfire, you would go into necessary tank items. Preferably movement speed tank items and Spirit Visage. Possible damage items if you would opt for that would be Nashor's, Cosmic Drive and Zonia's. Generally, first clear you want to full clear, as levels are huge for Udyr. The difference between level 3 and level 4 is you having all your abilities and having 2 points into one ability, getting double the base value basically. Unless you have a guaranteed gank, I would not deviate from this. You also have a choice of going into 2 points into R or grabbing a W early. If you're running Conquer, generally going all 4 abilities is the better. If you're running Fleet, then you can go for a double R, as you won't need mental stance to clear early and you would clear faster. I want to thank all of you that have made it this far. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to like and share and subscribe. I stream on Twitch most days after 8 PM European times, link in the description.